Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Today, we will discuss about the laws of chemical combination. So far, we have discussed that the atoms of same kind combine together to form elements, while the atoms of two or more different kinds combine together to form compounds. In this session, we will discuss all the laws of chemical combination in detail. Let us perform an experiment. We have taken copper sulfate solution in a test tube and barium chloride solution in the second one. Let us add barium chloride solution drop by drop to copper sulfate solution and observe the result. As you can see that a white precipitate is formed on mixing the two solutions. It indicates that a chemical reaction has taken place and a new substance is formed. Let us write the equation for this reaction. Copper sulfate reacts with barium chloride to form copper chloride and white precipitate of barium sulfate. Now let us find out the mass of the reactants and the products. Copper sulfate 159 grams, barium chloride 208 gram, copper chloride 134 gram and barium sulfate 233 grams. Let us calculate the total mass of the reactants by adding the masses of copper sulfate and barium chloride. 159 plus 208 which comes to be 367 grams. Similarly, let us calculate the total mass of the products. 134 gram plus 233 grams which becomes 367 grams. From this experiment, we have found that the total mass of the matter remains conserved during a reaction. This is the law of conservation of mass. It states that in all physical and chemical changes, the total mass of the reactants is equal to that of the products. The second law is the law of constant proportions. Let us do an activity to understand this law. Name some sources of water. Dam, hand pump, tube well, tap, rain, streams, lake, sea, waterfall. These are some of the sources of water. Now, let us write the formula for water collected from each of these sources. Do you find any difference in the chemical formula of water collected from these different sources? No. The chemical formula of water remains same. It is H2O, irrespective of the source from which it has been collected. H2O, it contains 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen. So, according to the law of constant proportions, a chemical compound is always found to be made up of the same elements combined together in the same fixed proportion by mass. Now, moving to the next law, law of multiple proportions. Let us take an example. We have taken two different compounds, but these compounds are made up of same two elements, carbon and oxygen. In the table, we can see that the mass of carbon is same in both compounds, that is 12 grams. We can say that the mass of carbon is fixed or is constant. Let us look at the mass of the oxygen. The mass of oxygen in carbon monoxide is 16 grams and in carbon dioxide it is 32 grams. Let us find out the ratio of oxygen in carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Mass of oxygen in CO divided by mass of oxygen in CO2 equal to 16 divided by 32, which comes out to 1 by 2, a simple whole number ratio. Let us take one more example. Now we have taken the example of water and hydrogen peroxide. In these compounds, the mass of hydrogen is fixed, that is 1 gram. The mass of oxygen in H2O is 16 grams and the mass of oxygen in hydrogen peroxide is 32 grams. Let us calculate the ratio of oxygen in these two compounds. Mass of oxygen in water divided by mass of oxygen in hydrogen peroxide, which is equal to 16 divided by 32, and it comes out to be 1 by 2. Again, a simple whole number ratio. This is the law of multiple proportions. It states that when two elements combine to form two or more chemical compounds, then the masses of one of the element which combine with the fixed mass of the other bears a simple ratio. The fourth law is law of reciprocal proportions. Let's take an example to understand this law. Here also we have taken two compounds, but in both compounds only one element is common and the other element is different. So in all there are three elements involved. Again, the mass of common element, that is hydrogen, is fixed in water NH2S, and that is 1 gram. This is an important point. Whenever we are comparing two compounds for reciprocal proportions, we have to keep in mind that the element which is common to both of them should have the same mass in both the compounds. The masses of oxygen and hydrogen in these two compounds are 16 grams and 32 grams respectively. Let us find out the ratio of oxygen and sulfur. Mass of oxygen in H2O divided by mass of sulfur in H2S, which is equal to 16 divided by 32, and it comes out to be 1 by 2, again a simple whole number ratio. Wait, it's not over yet. What if sulfur and oxygen combine directly? Yes, sulfur and oxygen can combine directly and they form SO2, sulfur dioxide. Let us calculate the ratio of sulfur and oxygen in sulfur dioxide. Mass of oxygen in sulfur dioxide divided by mass of sulfur in sulfur dioxide, it is equal to 32 divided by 32, which comes out to be 1 by 1. Now we multiply the previous ratio written in blue color with 2 and see what's happened. So 1 by 2 multiplied by 2, it gives us 1 by 1. That is the ratio which is written in red, the ratio of the elements in SO2. So, the ratio of the two elements in two different compounds with common element is equal to the ratio of the elements when they combine together, or a simple whole number multiple of the ratio. Confused? Okay, let us take one more example. This time we have taken water and methane. Remember that the mass of the common element should be same. So we have taken 2 moles of H2O so that the mass of hydrogen in H2O and CH4 becomes equal, that is 4 grams. The mass of oxygen in H2O is 32 grams and the mass of carbon in CH4 is 12 grams. Let us take their ratio. Mass of oxygen in 2H2O divided by mass of carbon in CH4 equal to 32 divided by 12, which comes out to be 8 divided by 3. What will happen when carbon will react with oxygen? It will form carbon dioxide. Now let us take the ratio of carbon and oxygen in carbon dioxide. Mass of oxygen in carbon dioxide divided by mass of carbon in carbon dioxide equal to 32 divided by 12, which comes out to be 8 by 3. Here we can see that both the ratios are equal. So we can see 8 by 3 multiplied by 1 is equal to 8 by 3, the later ratio. This is the law of reciprocal proportions. It states that the ratio of masses of two elements A and B, which combine separately with the fixed mass of the third element C, is a simple multiple of the ratio of masses in which A and B combine directly with each other. Next law is Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. Children, the 4 laws which we have done till now consider mass of the elements, but this law, it takes the volume into consideration. Let us take an example to understand this law. We have taken 1 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of chlorine. When they will react together, we will get 2 volumes of HCl. According to the reaction, H2 plus Cl2 gives 2 HCl. If we take the ratio, then the ratio of H2 and Cl2 are 1:1. The ratio of hydrogen to HCl is 1:2 and the ratio of chlorine and HCl is 1:2. All the ratios are in simple whole number of their volumes. Let us take one more example. 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen to give 2 volumes of ammonia. According to the reaction, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Here, one thing you have to remember, that the total volume of the product is not the sum of the volumes of the reactants. The volume of products depend upon the number of moles of the product, the temperature and the pressure at which the reaction was carried out. Here also, let us take the ratio. The ratio of nitrogen and hydrogen is 1:3. The ratio of nitrogen and NH3 is 1:2. And the ratio of hydrogen and NH3 is 3:2. This is the law of gaseous volumes. It states that in a chemical reaction, if all the reactants and products are in gaseous state, then the volume of reacting gases bear a whole number ratio to one another and to the volumes of the products. So, these were 5 laws of chemical combination. Hope you have understood them all. In our next session, we will discuss the mole concept. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.